Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I had to come out here and talk about this because really and truthfully, this is some of the biggest bullshit I've seen in a long time, and this honestly, for people that are just now coming across this video that have never watched me before, you know, this may be new. This may be a perspective you don't like, and even if you do know me, it still may not be a perspective you don't like. But it's just the truth. It's just I'm all about what's fair, what's right, and what's just in boxing, and I'll definitely always fight for and be on the side of that. Now, we all enjoyed the Usyk Tyson Fury fight. We all got what we wanted to see. We got our first crowned undisputed heavyweight champion in years. Oleksandr Usyk is the baddest man on the planet. He's already punched his ticket to Canada. He will be in the Hall of Fame one day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's an all-time great at the sport, one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever lived in the history of our beloved sport. But before there was a Fury-Usyk fight signed, or when it did get signed, months and months and months ago, and I talked about it back then here on True School Sports, months and months and months ago, it was mandated by the IBF themselves that when they fight, which they now have fought, once the fight is over, should there be a rematch, which there's going to be, they've already announced that there's going to be a rematch in October, so we know there's a Fury-Usyk rematch on the horizon. So now that we know that, the IBF belt is supposed to be go vacant because they mandated that it would be vacant after those two fought, because they've had an IBF mandatory challenger since August of 2022. And that mandatory challenger is a guy by the name of Hrgovic, the most ducked and avoided fighter in the entire sport of boxing by a million miles, and it's not even close. Nobody wants to fight him because they know that financial incentive maybe not be what they want, and there's a good chance they'll probably lose because he is that good, right? So Hrgovic should be fighting for the IBF title. It was fully expected that IBF belt will be on the line for Dubois versus Hrgovic this Saturday, or next Saturday, I should say, on the June 1st card for the Matchroom Queensberry 5-on-5, right? Now we have an issue now. We got a big issue now because now all of a sudden, Oleksandr Usyk's manager, Oleksandr Usyk, he's went ahead and he's filed an exemption with the IBF. He's filed for an exemption with the IBF so that the title can be on the line again for the Tyson Fury rematch. Now, there hasn't been any decision yet from the IBF on what they're going to do. We'll stay tuned for that patiently here on True School Sports. But if the IBF grants him this exemption for Usyk Fury in the rematch, that's complete and utter horseshit. It's horrible. It's bad for our sport. Why? Because Hrgovic's been the mandatory since August of 2022. If you're not going to honor your mandatory challengers and you're going to make them wait 2 years to get a world title shot, then we don't need a ranking system. We don't need a ranking system. We don't need any of that. Just do whatever you want. Let it be a free for all at this point, because it's not like we didn't get to see Fury Usyk. We got to see Fury Usyk. We know who is the undisputed champion. That was already crowned. We know who the baddest man on the planet is. Hrgovic needs his shot, because even before he got into that position, even before Hrgovic got into the mandatory position, when he he controversially beat Zhang. I thought he beat Zhang. It was a close fight. I thought he won by a point. But still, he beat Zhang. Even before it got to the Zhang fight, remember, Zhang was the number 13 contender. And before he fought Zhang, was it August of 2022 or whatever it was, they were supposed to fight in May of 2022 on the Canelo Bivol card. Hrgovic pulled out because I believe his dad died, right? Around that time, his dad had passed away, right? So before even all that happened, he spent pretty much all 2020. We spent from May to like March or April of 2022 of guys in the top 15 avoiding Hrgovic. Michael Hunter, Murat Gassiev, Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz, Dempsey McKean, and probably like one or two others. It was like 6 to 7 people that turned down the IBF eliminator spot in 2022 before we even got to Zhang at number 13. So with that being said, he should have been mandatory even probably before August of 2022. So the fact that he's had to go through all this, and the fact that they're now we're now to a point where you got managers filing exemptions, and I understand Krashiak just wants his guy to defend all the belts again against Fury in a big fight. But look, it's a big money fight. We know that right now that those two are the best in the division, regardless if all the belts on the line or not. Let Hrgovic get his shot. Let's keep things moving, because what happens in boxing, when you start screwing guys like Filip Hrgovic, it creates a log jam. So he gets screwed for years on end, and then the guys behind him get screwed for years on end, and it's a never-ending trickle effect. And I would like for the heavyweight division and just boxing in general, when it comes to mandatory challengers, to just move a little smoother. Move a little bit smoother, because if you want to see those big fights, you need to start getting these mandatory challenges out of the way so that it doesn't block the big fights. And my thing is this: if the fighters who are defending the belts that are quote-unquote big names can't defeat the mandatory challengers, then guess what? Then they're just not that good. And you know what? Then a new star will be born, and it'll be healthier for the damn sport of boxing. So that's kind of just where I'm at. I hope the IBF does the right thing. They do not grant the exemption to Usyk, because they would be pretty much making a further mockery of the boxing ranking system. And by the way, the boxing ranking system has been a mockery for a long time. We see guys that don't deserve to be in the top 15 rankings of sanctioning bodies get put in there just through connections and politics. It's bureaucracy. It's no different than politics on Capitol Hill here in the States, So it's the same thing. Guys lobbying for ranking. It's just how it works. They managers and promoters lobby for ranking positions for guys that don't deserve them, and they get them based on relationships. So I understand how it works, but when you get to the subject of the number one contender mandatory challengers, guys who did everything right, the fair and just way, those guys need to get treated properly. And Hrgovic hasn't really gotten treated properly from pretty much anybody in the boxing industry all these years. And I'm hoping the IBF does what they're supposed to do and just deny the exemption and let Hrgovic and Dubois scrap for the belt in on June 1st, next Saturday. And if not, and the winner of that fight can maybe fight the winner of that of Fury and Usyk rematch, and then they can do another undisputed fight. That would be the proper way to go. But boxing doesn't normally go the proper way when it comes to these kind of things. It's always about money, and the sport and the business don't ever seem to be on one accord. But that's my take on it. That's the news. Oleksandr Usyk manager has requested an exemption, which, by the way, they had a deal. IBF had a deal. So if they don't honor it, the IBF is going to breach their own deal. So is that legally binding? Can Keith Connolly, the manager of Hrgovic, sue the IBF for them not honoring their own deal? They're not being men of their word. So just some food for thought. I'm not being a Hrgovic quote unquote fanboy. I'm just telling y'all the truth and what's real and what's fact and what's fiction. He has been the IBF mandatory since August of 2022. Usyk and Fury are gonna fight in October of this year. So that'll be that. By the time they fight, Hrgovic will have already been the mandatory challenge for over 2 years. And then let's just say maybe they fight in April of 2025. They give Hrgovic a shot against the winner for undisputed in April of 2025. Well, guess what? Then that's now what? You made Hrgovic wait, 2.5 years to get a world title shot? So then that should devalue what being mandatory challenger is. It doesn't mean anything anymore because you have to wait 2.5 years to get your shot. So just some food for thought. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.